Hi, Tim here with Clive Coffee. We are going to discuss volumetric programming, what it's useful for, and how to program volumetric settings on your Lucca A53 or A53 Mini. Volumetric settings is the machine's way of measuring the flow of water to the group head. Your machine uses a flow meter. Water that's going to the group head passes through the flow meter. It goes in to this chamber, and this is what it looks like inside. The water cycles through and exits on the outlet on its way to the group head. As this dial rotates, there are two small magnets. Your machine is counting how many rotations of the magnet with the sensor that's on the top. When you are programming volume settings, it is recording those number of rotations, which is correlated to volume, and saving that setting and then stopping your machine after a certain count. Volume settings and time are not the same setting. You can program your volume settings with the right grind setting to be pulling shots in that 30-second parameter. However, what we're actually measuring is the flow of volume, not time. I'm going to show you how I would recommend starting off using your volumetric programming, and we're also going to show you how to enter the programming mode and set volume settings. On my machine here, we have a scale and a glass that can hold around 100 grams of water. A typical shot volume is close to 40 grams of liquid volume. That's about 2 ounces. What we want is to program our volume much longer than we need to dial in our espresso. Then we can focus on dialing in, starting and stopping our shot in the appropriate time. And then we'll show you going back and saving a perfect volumetric setting so you have a one-button experience. To enter our programming mode, we press and hold the power button when the machine is on. I have my coffee boiler numbers lit, my main power light is lit, I know the machine is on. I can go ahead and press and hold this power button until I see the numbers flash. Now I've entered my programming mode. I have the flexibility to start and stop shots in this mode, and at this point the machine is ready to start counting the number of rotations at the flow meter. I'm going to start and stop a shot so that it nearly fills this glass to about 100 grams of liquid. There's no coffee in the puck, so it's just going to run pretty freely. It took about 13 seconds to fill this glass with about 100 grams of water. I can save this volume setting by pressing my power button once again. My machine has gone back to its normal on position with the main power light on, and my coffee boiler is refreshing and reheating back to its ideal set temperature. To test our volume setting that we just programmed, we can go ahead and run the single button that we've programmed and verify that the volume is going to be the same. As you can see, the volume stopped exactly the same setting that we programmed. And again, that took just about 13 seconds. Once we start putting espresso in the portafilter, you're going to notice the time in which we get this same volume is going to slow down. The machine is, again, simply measuring the number of rotations, so that's volume. It took 13 seconds to create this volume with no restriction. With some coffee in there, it will fill your glass to about the same volume minus the absorption from the coffee, and it will take a longer period of time. Now that we've programmed our volume to fill this entire glass, I have the flexibility to start and stop my shot within 30 seconds, and I'm confident that it's not going to stop short. Now we're going to show you how to program the volume for a shot that's been dialed in. We're using our tools to verify our dose of coffee in. We're going to go ahead and enter our programming mode. Again, press and hold the power button until you see your lights, your number lights flash. And then we're going to program this 1 cup button to start and stop with the desired volume. So we stopped our shot at about 30 seconds, and that gave us roughly a little over 30 grams of espresso. This is 20 grams in, 30 grams out, about a 1 to 1.5 ratio. Pretty good looking shot. Our final step to save this setting, we're going to press that power button one more time. With your grinder settings, your dose in, and all other parameters consistent, pulling this shot of espresso will be as simple as a 1-button experience. If you see your time shifting or changing on you, or you see different things happening with your same volumetric setting, you will want to verify that your volume setting has not been accidentally reprogrammed. So try and run that volumetric programming once again and make sure that that is still set correctly. If you have a slightly different dose, using your scale, you'll be able to know if you have 20 grams consistently or if that dose is different. You will get a different flow rate and your volume will come out in a different amount of time. If you switch coffees, that will affect the way the beans are restricting the flow of water. That will also change the time in which that same volume is going to flow. And finally, if you notice a random shot that has water that's flowing through there very rapidly, very quickly, and on a bottomless portafilter it might be squirting out of the sides, that could be due to channeling. Channeling describes the pressure from the water boring through weak points in the puck of espresso. If the bed of coffee is uneven from uneven tamping or uneven distribution, you will get those weak points in the coffee. That could lead to the channeling that you're seeing. You can check out tips on how to improve that technique to minimize channeling in the links at the bottom of the video. For more information on using your Lucca A53 or A53 Mini, check out the links here. For more tech tips, visit our knowledge base at clivecoffee.com.